Hello. Happy Friday. End of another week. I cannot believe we're almost at the end of August, but good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are in the world. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for keeping me company on this Friday. If you're watching live or if you're catching the replay, hello. Appreciate you giving me some of your time. Time is super valuable. So I'm always very humbled by how many people watch streams and take the opportunity to leave comments and feedback. I think that's probably the thing I'm enjoying so much about actually doing this stream, even though I'm on my own, is like how much interaction and engagement I get from people in the community and people from around the world. It still trips me out how many people that engage with me. So thank you. Like seriously, it's very humbling. And also fun fact about 2 hours ago, a friend of mine was questioning the raising of the arms at the start of every stream. And she's like, oh, is this your signature thing? And I was like, well, every time I manage to make the stream work, I feel like I need to celebrate. And I was told maybe I need to change it up. So I don't know. Are people sick of my little hands up celebration? It's how I roll. Like if Shuri was a little bit more of a cat that sat still, I'd try to incorporate her into some kind of intro. But I don't know. It got me thinking. I'm like, oh, do I need a better way to start the stream than literally patting myself on the back that I made the technology work? I don't know. You tell me. As I like to say, I'm a woman of the people, or at least I try to be. But I've already got people in the chat commenting, which is amazing. As I said, I'm perpetually stunned that people turn up to hang out with me, and I'm very appreciative of that. The Toy Collector, happy Friday, everyone. Oh, I'm there with the hands again. Oh God. So excited for that Wednesday figure. Yeah, and you know what? It was a very narrow window between tease to announcement, which is not how Hot Toys has rolled. And I keep thinking, have we got that ballerina tease? Where's Eve Macaro? I don't have an Eve Macaro. Thunderbolts tease. Howie Claws is a tease, my goodness. But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised to see how quickly they've shown the full figure, which is cool. I wish that was typical, that it wasn't we get a tease and then you never really know afterwards what's happening. Will we get it? So that was a nice surprise to see a bit more of Wednesday this week. Uncarded Reviews is here. Good morning, everyone. Looks like another great Star Wars live stream. I don't even know that I can commit to doing 60 seconds about Darth Vader, because I seriously... How many Darth Vaders do you need? I'm perplexed. Anthony Stanfield is here. Hello, everyone. Hello, Anthony. I hope you're doing well. We've got Winman42. Happy Friday to everyone. Hope all is well. It's 8 a.m. here in Albuquerque with a nice temperature of 70 degrees Fahrenheit, 21 degrees Celsius. Thank you for including Celsius. I hope it stays this nice in the desert today. Loving my Hono Iron Man. Oh, that's so cool. I don't have any Hono figures, so I don't have experience, but I'm glad you love your Iron Man. And 21 degrees does sound lovely. It's around 10 degrees here at the moment. It is 10 p.m. in Western Australia. So what's that 15-hour time difference? Yeah, that sounds about right, to the west coast of the US and the west coast of Australia. Tim Tams for everyone. Well, there will be Tim Tams for someone. 4,000 subscriber giveaway will be the Tim Tams. So if you're new, hello, subscribe, because at some stage I'm going to hit 4,000 subscribers, which trips me out. But I'm going to give away a delicious package of Tim Tams. You're going to get to choose the Tim Tams. I'm going to go Tim Tam shopping for someone, and I'm going to post them Tim Tams. And I think I'm probably going to start an addiction for someone, and you're welcome. I'm sorry. I don't know what the appropriate response would be. Star Crash is here. Hello to you. Akira, I'm here early for once. Lovely to see you in the chat. I hope you're doing well. We've got Sharon. Hello, Helen. And, of course, Darth Allison. Always Darth Allison. So have you been just so happy that there is a lull in Star Wars announcements lately? You can literally do 1 minute on Star Wars since Hot Toys had one figure. Look, I think I prefer doing Star Wars in 60 seconds when there's more figures, because it means I have to say less. Like when it was Celebration and there was all those figures, I really only had to pop out a sentence. Whereas when it's one figure, I'm like, what am I going to say? I don't even know if I'm going to do a minute on Darth Vader because I legit don't know what to say that isn't just going to be a rant. So I think I'm just going to have to gauge my mood when we get to Darth Vader. So it may be 60 seconds. It may be 6 seconds. I cannot commit to that. But yeah, I feel like you never really get much of a Star Wars free time period, do we? And I'm just legitimately, I'm not understanding how many versions of people need of Darth Vader. Maybe I should save this for maybe I will do 60 seconds. I don't know. As I said, we'll see how we go. But hello, how are you doing? AJ's here. Greetings, friends. Hope everyone is doing well. Hello, AJ. Hope you're doing well. High fives all around from my carded reviews. Absolutely. I got pretty sick yesterday, feeling better today, but finally set up a new figure. Oh, I'm sorry to hear you're not doing well. What figure did you get? Is it a Star Wars figure? I'm going to guess it's a Star Wars figure. Miss Batwoman's here. Hello. Happy Friday, Helen, Shuri, and everyone. Yeah, little Shuri is somewhere. She was drinking some water before from her glass that's on this desk, like literally a glass. I'm hoping she'll join us at some stage, my little monkey. She's got a little cat scratches there, so maybe she'll come and do her claws and say g'day. We can only hope. I posted a picture of Shuri on Instagram. I don't know if you guys saw that, but can I just quickly say, because I was like, oh my God, like it's been another quiet week, because I feel like if Hot Toys is not cranking out a million things, there is so little else. I did not have on my bingo card that J&D was going to be like the MVP of the week and make 2 late announcements. So we will talk about the John Wick. We will talk about the Bruce Wayne. So thank you, J&D, for helping me pad out this stream, because it was looking pretty grim when it was like Wednesday that we kind of talked about last week, a Peacemaker tease, a Steph Curry figure, and a Darth Vader that I really have no cares for. So thank you, J&D. And I have to say, I'm really worried I'm going to like that John Wick and want it. And I don't want to be dropping J&D prices because I have a mortgage. Figure It Out is here. Hello, everyone. Hello to you. Happy Friday. I'm just interested in seeing how Bat Allison is patrolling, looking for the huckster William Wang is located. Yeah, look, we'll talk about him. Because there was another post in collector base. Has anybody heard from William Wang? No one's heard from William Wang. He has done a runner. No one knows where he is. How this is not a more well-known thing in our community, I'm really at a loss. I'm really at a loss as to how this isn't just like Toys Wonderland William Wang, how it's not at that level of understanding amongst the community that this is not a vendor to be dealing with at all. Natalie Harris is here. Hiya. Good afternoon from Akula, UK. Well, hello to you. Hope you're doing well. JB is here. Afternoon all. Afternoon to you. Keep in mind, every Darth Vader is possibly someone's first Darth Vader. I'm just going to move on. Oh, good. More Vader comments. For Vader's, always more, even though I own one. That Vader has a ridiculously big box for the deluxe. Well, just imagine how big the box for Pilates Vader is going to be. That's going to be huge. Those caramel Tim Tams I ate last week were incredible. Yeah. Did you Tim Tam slam any? Because I think the caramel is the best of Tim Tam slam. It is my favorite one to do the slamming with. Natalie says, hope everyone is well. We hope you're well as well. Renz is here. Hello all. Hope everyone is doing well. Poor Renz. He told me that he was drawing, he's drawing a sketch of, is it Ripley and Jonesy? Is Jonesy the name of the cat? I might know stuff. from Alien, and I made the comment of, oh, I really need to see that one day. And I think Renz was a bit like, wow, you really don't watch anything. And it's like, no, there's a lot of stuff I haven't seen, but I do want to try to watch that first Alien movie and make no commitments as to time frame. While I'm alive is the time frame. Bobby's here. Happy Friday, Bob. This time last year, I was hanging out with Bob. It's our friendiversary. I was having a wonderful time hanging out with Bob. And I'm just now sitting at home in cold Perth. But I got to see Bob's amazing collection in person, and that was an experience, I have to tell you guys. Bob has amazing custom figures, and he's the nicest guy in collecting and in real life. So hello to you, Bob. Ramstein's fan is here. Howdy, Helen Shuri in chat. I'm just dropping by for a bit and smashing the like button. Appreciate you. I don't forget to hit the like button, everyone. It's free. It is free. We appreciate it. It helps people discover me. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Maybe I want to stay in my little bubble because I feel like my hot takes and all the stuff I haven't seen is probably going to trigger people. So maybe I don't want to be mainstream, because I have to say, touch wood, I've been pretty lucky to not get really get hateful comments and stuff. So I don't know if that's just luck or people just love an Aussie. I have no idea. AJ says our two cats are hanging out in the sun and enjoying the stream with all of us here too. Oh, your kitties, lovely. We had a dog come to work today, and I swear it's like the best work day of the year. Like that dog just made me so happy. He was lovely, and he kept trying to scrounge around for food. And if his mum was not there, I would have given him all the treats, because why wouldn't you feed a dog treats? I feel like you should do that often. We need all the Vaders, every angle, every iteration, tables, back to tanks. I don't know what that is. Thrown more. Yeah, gasp. Yeah, that was Renz's. Like seriously, I remember having to do this profile at work, and I'm pretty sure I made a comment in. I can't even remember the question where I said, like the list of movies I have not seen, like upsets and offends a lot of people, because it's a lot. It's a lot. Helen, you should start with Alien Earth and then Predator Badlands. You'll be hooked and want all the Alien and Predator figures. Well, I have no room for any of them. I have seen the figures though. I saw them in Hong Kong, but no, there's no new lines for Helen at the moment, because I don't even have room for everything I have. Like at the moment, She-Hulk is sharing a shelf with Kane and a couple of John Wicks. I need to sort this room out and what I'm going to do with extra storage, because I'm out. Bobby, told you he's the nicest guy in collecting. Bob, that's so generous. Bob has gifted 20 memberships to the channel, so congratulations if you got a membership. I have to say, I do find it interesting to see who gets gifted the memberships, because sometimes it's people where I'm like, oh, I didn't know they watch my channel. So I feel like I get a little bit of insider info, because sometimes people watch and they don't engage. And that's fine. You do you if that's you. But I do always find it interesting to see who they get gifted to. But Bob, that's incredibly kind. I'm totally adamant you are bankrolling my channel, and I appreciate you. That's very kind. Mike's here. Hey, everyone. Another slow week for Hot Toes, so I'm looking forward to today's discussions. Well, I mean, as I said, J&D saved the day with a couple of late announcements, which I was not expecting. So J&D, they are the best. Just ask them. Bobby D is the chat MVP. He's just the MVP. He really is. I've got 14 Wellington is here. Hello to you. Got people thanking Bob. Uncard Review says Wendy, Rain, Naru. Ellie Fanning and Ripley are the new A-Force. Well, that's a big call. I haven't even finished my first A-Force because Howie doesn't want to make me an Okoye, which still makes me sad. Oh, I never get gifted a membership. What's up with that? Excuse me while I cry in the corner. Oh, I'm so sorry. I have no idea how it works and what it's based on. I just know Bob literally buys many memberships. Because I've seen streams where they do the like, oh, thanks to my members. And I'm like, I don't like, it would be a very long list because Bob's buying so many of them. But then I'm like, I don't know who's a member and who's gifted. So it feels like an odd thing to do at this stage. But there's a lot of things I could be doing with this stream that I don't do. Like someone told me have an intro, have all this stuff, but do I do it? No. I throw my hands up and go, woo, we're live. And I gibber on because that's how I am. More people thanking Bob. We've got Illusion Entity. Hi, how are you? I'm good. How are you? Look at little Shuri. What is it, Sweet Pea? You got stuff to say? You're going to roll around on the ground. Okay, Bobby. You do you, Shuri. Thanks, Bob. You are the godfather of the community. Much respect to the Don. He is. I'm obviously just making fun. No worries. No, but it's true because I remember Luminara said the same thing once. She was like, I never seem to get gifted membership. So I legit have no idea how half of this stuff works. Because I don't pretend that I really know how YouTube works or how to run my own channel. Like, hence I celebrate when a stream goes live because I don't pretend to know what I'm doing. Guys, we start the stream in the traditional way. What's become the traditional way? Where's William Wang? No one knows. His last post on Facebook was on the 11th of May, and oh my God, we reached a milestone. That post has surpassed 1,000 comments. So there's been 1,000 comments on William's post to go, oh, sorry, I was away for a bit, like acting like he'd gone away for like a long weekend. Dude, you've been gone. Where are you? You've been gone all year. 1,000 people have now commented on that post. So well done, William. You've ignored 1,000 comments. And the other interesting development this week is that some people are reporting he's no longer contactable on Facebook Messenger. So I don't know if he has blocked people. I don't know if his account has been impacted in some way, but there are multiple people that have tried to message him on Facebook Messenger and they're just getting a little return message saying, this person's not available. I don't know what's going on. Claims he went to China. Is he in China? I don't know. All I know is every 1 to 2 weeks, I see someone asking about One Man's Hobby / William Wang. And I'm like, how is this not just known across the community? I really don't understand. So hence, I'm committed, while that website is still up, to concluding a PSA in this stream to warn people. So if someone's new, I want them to know this is not a seller to deal with. And if you're like, oh, I want the backstory, my stream with the John Wick unboxing, 30 minutes in, I give you a really good rundown of what has happened. But long story short, was a trusted seller, standards started slipping, has pretty much been missing all of 2025, has hundreds and thousands of people's dollars in his pocket. He's not responding to messages. He's not delivering products. Jazz Inc. has admitted that William has defaulted on his payments for the Catwoman figure. So that tells you a lot. So if you have pre-ordered that Catwoman figure, you can contact Jazz Inc., provide them proof of your deposit that you've paid to William Wang, and they will transfer the order to you and honor your deposit amount, which is a big thing that they're doing, and I applaud them for doing that. I don't know that many companies would do that. But as I said, I just feel compelled to keep reminding people because I'm just constantly seeing people ask the question. And I just hope that that domain hosting lapses at some point soon and this website goes offline so people stop getting suckered into making pre-orders for something that I sincerely don't think they are ever going to get. So hence, we keep this PSA up and going. And thank you to other people that have been spreading the word and letting people know this is not a reputable seller to buy from. And this is what gets me. There's so many good sellers out there. Like, I do get tripped out when you go somewhere like Reddit and it's like, oh, I've found this random place and are they reputable? And half the times I'm like, I've legit never heard of that place. Like, why would you not go with like an established, well-known business? It really trips me out. We have comments. Wednesday comes with a fully articulated silicone thing. That sounds dodgy. Collection Obsession is here. Hi, Helen. Hello to you. Hope you're doing well. William needs a kick in the wang. He sure does. Amongst other things, it really makes me sad because there's some individual collectors that have $10,000. I think the highest I've heard is about 15,000 Australian dollars in his pocket. And he's vanished. And that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Wow, that's a ton of comments. Yeah, literally the post has cracked 1,000 comments. And his return post was like, oh, I'll be responding to PMs in 4 hours time. Like, I don't know what time scale 4 hours is more than 3 months, but this is where we are. I think I saw Wang on the back of a milk carton. I mean, it's not that far away from it. This guy broke bad, scammer, never send him any money again, guys. It amazes me off the back of the post he made, people sent more money after months of silence previously. Well, this is what gets me as well. He's just like, he knew how to communicate when he needed more money. And I know one collector in Australia, around the time of this 11th of May, got sent a figure. Wasn't even a figure they ordered. They got sent some figure that was not a figure they ordered. And I know other people said, oh, you want money, why don't you take it from my other pre-orders? Which I think was wise, but I seriously it makes me relieved for myself, which is probably a little bit selfish, that I typically don't pre-order hot toys from resellers. I stick with pop culture. They've never done me wrong. But so many people thought this guy was their friend. I had people in that, I'm pretty sure the stream with the John Wick unboxing say, I went out for lunch with the guy, brought into his house, thought he was a friend. And then this is what he's done. There's really no excuse. The fact that we talk about this Wang every week is making me believe that we're creating the China version of America's Most Wanted. I mean, but the thing is, like, he's gone to China and they don't extradite their own people. So he's literally just done a runner with all this money. And will there be recourse? Like, we don't know. William is likely on a beach for the foreseeable, ordering another drink from the bar. Well, I don't know where he is. Just check the Hot Toys Nightwing is still available and not waitlisted. Oh, wow. I've never pre-ordered a limited edition exclusive so slowly in my life. That's quite interesting because typically, I feel like typically exclusives go pretty quickly. The only other one I can think that hung around for a bit was it that Batman Beyond Black and Gold figure last year. You know why? They should have done it as a Nightwing Trooper, and then it would have sold out. Or a Nightwing Darth Vader. Get Shuri on the scent to sniff out Wang, then she can scratch his eyes out for us. Well, her nickname is the Director of Security, and she likes to patrol the neighborhood. So that would be a really smart choice to get Shuri on the case. What's everyone? Hello, Jazzy. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Wang is watching this live stream to see how close they are to catching him. Who knows? I have no idea. I honestly think the guy has not tuned into anything and does not care. That would be my honest opinion. William Wang pulling a T-dubs. Yeah, he absolutely has. Toys Wangerland. It is. It 100% is. King Dingling is here. Hello all. Hello to you. Happy Friday. That Wednesday likeness is abysmal. Sorry. We'll talk about that. Ash Chase, hello. What up, plastic crackheads? Hello, Ash. How are you? Happy Friday. Have you finished with your house move? I hope you're doing well. We've got Keith Lee as well. Good morning, afternoon, evening, fellow collectors. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you. Maybe a croc got him. Well, I don't know. Maybe he's on that planet from Interstellar where like 1 minute is a year. I mean, I feel like that's the only excuse he could give us at this stage. This may be one thing with tariffs. I just had to cut off from buying anything from Hong Kong due to the fees. It's interesting because I feel like Giant Toy is not charging tariffs or tariff impact fees. And I'm like, interesting, but how are you doing that? There is no recourse. He's gone, and so is the money. Look, I can only hope, and I do believe in karma. I hope the universe gives him what he deserves, is all I will say. Nightwing is still available because it's awful. 2021 figure for 2025 prices, no update since it was revealed 4 years ago. That's true, but normally if you slap a limited sticker on it, people tend to flock. Shuri, I know, Sweet Pea, but you got to go find William Wang, honey. Can you do that for us? I've got a photo. Can you go find him for the community? They've decided you're the one to do it. Will you do it? You go find William Wang? I think she's going to do it. I think she's going to go pack her little bag and do it for us. We've got Valkyrie. Good morning, Helen and friends. Good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. Mike says, I think that Black and Gold Batman and maybe even the Batgirl are still on Sideshow. Yeah, the Black and Gold Batman was still very readily available in Hong Kong when I was there. It looks cool, but I just don't even know what I would do with it. Yes, all moved in. Awesome. I picked up the Batman 2.0 and it's magnificent. Oh, that's cool. Did you get the deluxe? I do have a mild obsession with that diorama display base of the wall. I think it's super cool. Shuri, you gonna go? You gonna go soon? Shuri's just gonna gather some possessions and then she's gonna go find William Wang. If I was going to get a Nightwing, I would get the Batman and Robin version because I would prefer live action version of him, even though I do not like the movie. Yeah, look, I think the outfit of that Robin was very cool. I don't know that there's a lot to like about Batman and Robin, but I do think some of the costumes were pretty cool. Okay, you're going to sharpen your claws before you go. That's a smart move, Shuri. Yeah, both purple Batgirl and the gold Batman. Okay, I do like that purple Batgirl. I really do. I just don't have the video game line and I don't know where I would display her. So as much as I do like that figure, I've had to resist. Shuri. Bit random. I'm a basketball fan, so we're going to talk about this totally unexpected Steph Curry figure from I don't know if Ace Player is what they're calling this figure or if that's the company name. But I was very surprised to see that this is licensed. So it poses more questions than answers. Did Enterbay lose the NBA license? Is this just an Asian region thing in theory? I don't know, because it was on the 1/6 Kit website. I also saw it on the Sugo Toys website here in Australia. And it's funny because as big of a basketball fan as I am, I've never thought about collecting figures. I don't know. I don't really have figures of like real people, if that makes sense. Like the musicians, like things like that. Some people have Donald Trump figures. That's fine. But I don't tend to have figures of real people. But I did think this was quite interesting. So there's a standard and a deluxe. Do I think it's amazing? It's an amazing likeness to Steph Curry? Not really. I don't think it's a good likeness to Steph Curry. I feel like I can say that as someone who watches a lot of basketball. And I have to even be honest, like I'm not sure about some of these uniforms. Like, I'm looking at the golden, the lettering on these pictures, and I'm worried that's some kind of like iron-on thing that might peel or deteriorate over time. I feel like the Enter Bay NBA figures were done pretty well. I do like that you have the good night pose. I think that's cool. But yeah, the sculpt, I don't know that I'm feeling it. And I have to say, I am really growing on the concept of having swap out arms. Because I get it. Like, it's a basketball figure. You want to have articulation. You want to pose it. But when you are wearing shorts and a singlet, you are seeing the wrist seam, the elbow joint, the shoulder. And I think it takes away a little bit. Whereas with the good night pose, it has like seamless sculpted arms. And I definitely feel like since I've gotten Power Pose Bruce Wayne, this idea has grown on me. So I would like to see more of that. Like, sure, give us the jointed arms, but why not then give us a sculpted set of arms with the ball molded into the hand? So if you want a seamless look for him, you can do that. Like, that's what I would like. I can't think that's going to tip the price point of this over the edge more than what they're currently charging. So I think for me, that's the one thing. Because sure, with players who are wearing the skins or whatever, you can cover up the joints, happy days. But yeah, when I look at some of these photos here and you see all of the joints, this feels like a thing that wouldn't have bothered us maybe 10 years ago. But I feel like now, as people are really wanting more of that realism, not having the visible joints, I do think it's probably another thing that's letting this down a little bit. It does come with quite a bit. I don't know if anybody has an interest in this, but I'm talking about it. Now I can't stop imagining Shuri packing her cat toys and favorite blanket or something in her cat carrier for the trip. Look, she would be very diligent and make wise packing choices. That's what I think Shuri would do. I've never been into the basketball figures because of the jointed bodies, which is understandable, but the likeness isn't bad. I don't think it particularly looks like Steph, though, either. I'm not... Who would have a Trump figure? Ash, I remember at one point, like, someone was making, like, Osama bin Laden figures. And I legit was like, who wants this? I don't understand some of the figures that get made, but they get made. It is what it is. I have no idea what it's based on. J&D statues Catwoman drama. Oh, is there? I'm not across that. What is it? J&D falling at the last hurdle. Oh, what have I missed? The Hot Toys Power Pose Bruce Wayne figure should be sold with the J&D Power Pose Batman figure. Well, I mean, why not? Why not? DID makes political figures. I feel like some third-party companies make them too. Those running poses have to be Photoshop trickery, right? There's no magnetic base, is there? I don't think it is. There is a stand there which you can kind of see on the base, and I'm just guessing that so on the, I think you can see it. So I think the photo where it's the back of him, the pole is like, the stand is at the front. So I think in two of these three I can see it. I'm just not sure, is it like a waist grabber? I'm not sure how they've, like, maybe the waist grabber is under the singlet, because I know with some of my Ace Force figures where I use the waist grabbers where I use the clothing to cover it. So like with Guardians 2 Gamora, you can kind of put the waist grabber under her vest and then you don't see it. So perhaps they've done that, because I can, as I said, in the left and the center pictures, I can definitely see the display stand pole, whatever you want to call it. But I do know often people then just Photoshop out the flight stands or the display stands. So that is another thing that sometimes gets done. Figures of real life people, celebrities, it's a bit weird in my opinion. At opinion considering I just have them, but the character. Oh, but have them in character, but it's my opinion nonetheless. Yeah, I don't know. I just, as I said, it's just not something I've thought of. And I had seen a long time ago, like, a friend of mine had the Enter Bay, like Jordan, Pippen, and Rodman, and it was cool. And they had like a 6 scale, like, basketball hoop for them and all that. And as much as I said, as much as I love basketball, I was just like, I don't know. It's just never been my thought of, I could collect these. I don't know. J&D Catwoman QC issues have become apparent. Was an unboxing on YouTube earlier this week. Oh, okay. I don't do the statue, so I haven't really been following that. Oh, okay, I can't see that well from my phone screen. Probably explains why I thought the likeness was anywhere in the ballpark. Look, I know I'm not on the 1080p StreamYard because I'm not paying for stuff, but no, I know when I looked at the photos and I tried to have the sort of different faces, like, yeah, I don't know that either of these sculpts is overly accurate to Steph. It's like Steph's second cousin, maybe. It comes in standard and deluxe versions, which I think is cool. And you do get a nice amount of accessories. You get, I think this is the standard, you get the swap out uniform, you get hands, you get the ball, you get a couple of trophies. And then with this deluxe, which as I say, I do think it's cool to have the sculpted arms in the goodnight pose. So you get an extra body, you get the posed body, you get an extra uniform. You got some swap out shoes. Did the other one have the shoes? Let me hide the comment. The other one had the shoes as well. But you do get some nice accessories. But as I said, I don't know if this is a new company that's been licensed or are Enterbay no longer doing NBA figures. I genuinely have not heard anything about Enterbay not doing NBA figures anymore. So this did kind of surprise me. Most of the 3rd scale Catwoman statues had some paint issues. Oh, and many people are reporting broken claws and fingers and cats missing some whiskers. Oh, that's unfortunate. That is very unfortunate. See, this is like I started with statues and then I've moved to figures, and I feel like as much as moving to figures felt daunting because of all the swap out parts, if you drop it, it doesn't always break if it's a hot toy. Whereas if you drop a statue or if like Shuri knocks it over, like it gone. So that's a shame because those statues as well, they are not cheap. So I'm hoping J&D has some kind of remedy for that. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm already at Star Wars. I feel like I've set an expectation that I will do Star Wars in 60 seconds, right? So that's what we should do. Do I have anything that I've prepared to talk about this Vader? No, I have not. What am I even going to say? I have no idea. I've never understood the appeal of statues. Honestly, I like to repose my stuff, and with statues, they're mega expensive and just stuck in the initial pose forever. Well, I mean, I think particularly at that quarter scale and the 3rd scale, like it definitely has a bigger presence, and like some of the poses they can do are really cool. Like my first 6 scale collectibles were some Dark Knight Rises statues, and I remember with the Anne Hathaway Catwoman, she was very much in that pose like she was cracking the safe. I totally could not do that with a Hot Toys figure. With Bane, he sort of had his arms outstretched. And even with the new Bane, I was thinking of doing that pose, but I was like, oh, is that going to impact the shoulders with time? And I think the thing that surprised me is that now statues actually do have quite a few swap out pieces. Like I've seen some Spider-Man statues where you've got some swap out head sculpts, swap out arms. So I feel like statues are kind of evolving. And as I say, I think if you really love a character, having something in that bigger scale is super cool. And as I said, I can only speak for myself. I know I found Hot Toys super intimidating. Like, I was worried I was going to break stuff. Like, it felt like pressure to have to pose it and to make it look cool. So I guess I feel like I can see both sides of the coin. I know at one stage pop culture had like a 1-to-1 Christian Bale Dark Knight statue. It was $10,000, but I really wanted it. Did I buy it? No, because I'm trying to be responsible. Darth Allison in the house. Yeah, she's creeping around here somewhere. She just won't let me be. I didn't realize you started with statues, Helen. Where the hell have I been? I did wonder if I should do a video about like my collecting journey and where did it start and how did it evolve. I have no idea if that's of interest to people. I feel like I kind of weave it into streams now and then, but I wasn't sure if that's something that people are interested in. Let me know if you're live or if you're watching the replay. Is that video even interesting? I don't know, because I feel like I've maybe spoken about this a little bit on this stream, like other streams I did with other YouTubers when I was quite new to all this. I don't know. I don't know if people like, we know or we don't care. And if you don't care, like, totally fine. I will not do it. Still no Wolverine a sad week. Well, I don't know if you saw last week's stream, but according to the Korean stockists, Wolverine soon. So I got my fingers crossed for you, Ash. Darth Vader is the reason I got into 6-scale collecting. He's a role model and an inspiration. Next week, Ash, fingers crossed. Yeah, we can only hope. Helen, Allison didn't give you a cheat sheet for this Vader ahead of time. No, she didn't. Darth Allison is really not a team player, and I find she often throws me under the bus, which is not nice, because why? Yes, we need to know how your journey began. Oh, okay, interesting. Well, maybe I can do that. Maybe I can do that for you guys. And then, yeah, I wonder how long that would be. How far back do you want me to go? I feel like I've been collecting for a while. But not always 6-scale. But yeah, okay. I might plan that out and do that as a video soon. I need to stop stalling. I need to stop delaying. I need to gibber on about Darth Vader. God, my timer was set to 10 minutes. Definitely not for 10 minutes. Because on this stream, my ring light is positioned awkwardly, but also I talk about Star Wars for 60 seconds because that's all I can give Star Wars. Because if you're new, I don't do the Star Wars and I don't ever intend to. Should we start a timer? Sure. I don't know what I'm going to say, so good luck, everyone. This is Darth Vader, because why not? We need all the Darth Vaders all the time. And I've legit reached a stage where I'm like, when does it stop? When does it end? It feels like for every significant life change Vader has had, we need to have it represented in 6-scale. So we had a Vader with a broken mask. I saw it at Secret Base. I thought that was it. That was done. We had one without broken mask with just the munted face. We had partially munted face with the broken helmet. But no, that's not enough. We have this one. So here he is with his munted face. And here he is with all his different looks. So I'm just sitting here going, I know Pilates Vader is coming. I want to know where is Bar Mitzvah Vader? Where is Wedding Vader? Where is Birth of My First Child Vader? Where is Midlife Crisis Vader? Where are all the Vaders? Can we just release them all at once so I can stop having this in my life? I can't. Lightsabers. Pew pew. I have nothing more to give on this topic of Darth Vader and Star Wars because I am just... I cannot. Darth Vader. No, I think it's just my accent. Because I know someone once thought I was saying Dark Vader, but I was not. It's my Australian accent, and I'm also actually a mumbler. I try really hard to enunciate my words on streams, but it doesn't always work because I'm also super tired. Time up for 30 seconds. Vega fatigue is real as an Iron Man fatigue for me. Yeah, look, I'm like Iron Man, Heath Ledger Joker. Like, we've got to be hitting Vader. Like, I know I'm not the market for this, but I'm like, at what point do Star Wars people not like, cool, man? Like there's enough Darth Vader in my life. Darth Vader is eternal. It never ends. I mean, everyone ends. I see that J&D is going ahead with their 2-pack week, maybe a purchase. We'll talk about King Dingaling. We'll talk about that because I am genuinely fearful that I'm going to want that J&D John Wick 2-pack. And it's probably going to cost me more than a mortgage payment. And I don't know that I want to be spending that much on figures, but we will talk about it. I did like what I saw, but we haven't seen the sculpt yet. But I feel like if they've nailed that sculpt, it's going to be really hard for me to resist. Bar Mitzvah Vader, I'll pass on that one. Why not? He'll come with a little hat. Apologies, I don't know what that's called. A chair. A dance floor. Parents. Some friends. It'll be like a whole diorama set. Why wouldn't you want that, Vader? It sounded amazing. Once you start down let me try again. Once you start down the dark side of collecting forever, it will dominate your collection. Say no to Star Wars. Yeah, I'm like literally grateful that I'm not interested in Star Wars because I know I have friends that are Star Wars collectors and the amount of stuff they have, and even like just going to Secret Base, like I didn't realize how much Star Wars stuff Hot Toys had done. I feel like it was 7 cabinets. It was a lot. And I literally was like, holy smokes. Like, I felt like they'd done a lot of stuff, but I didn't realize it was this much stuff. So I'm glad it's not me. Collecting J&D only hurts the first time. It gets easier with every new purchase. Oh, goodness. But you know what? Like, but the thing is as well with John Wick is like, I'm also, my interest is also more piqued because it's something different. It's something not everyone has done. Like, I know Hot Toys has done it, but it's not Hot Toys and Inner and this one and that one and that one. Like, in a licensed capacity, it's not saturated because as much as I love The Dark Knight, like, Hot Toys is doing 2.0s and 3.0s. Inner is maybe doing stuff. They're saying they're going to do stuff. And then J&D is just doing the stuff that we've already kind of recently gotten from Hot Toys. And I know, like, it's a different type of collector. That's fine. But I really love John Wick. And I am really concerned that I'm going to want it. Helen, they do have Vader with the diaper change table. No, that's Pilates Vader. So he had back problems and he fixed them with Pilates. So that is Pilates Vader. I really want the Catwoman from Kojun. I mean, I own the statue, but I will not spend $1,800 on a figure. Well, I mean, and that's US. So on PayPal, like a US, like $1 Australian dollar is something silly like 62 US cents. So this is my thing. Like, I was looking up the Bruce Wayne figures and trying to remind myself of the price. And in Australia, like, the Bruce Wayne figure on its own, so dude in a suit with a Batman bust, not much else, was $1,500 Australian. That's not even the one with the Armory. So I'm seriously looking at some of these price points and going, I don't know that I want to be buying stuff at that price level. I've set myself a ceiling and I don't want to go above it. Blurred Dad Life says, I sold off my Star Wars collection. I had to focus on the IPs I care about the most, Star Trek, DC and Marvel. And isn't your life happier now that you got rid of Star Wars? Like, join me on the dark side, Blurred Dad Life. I have Tim Tams. Star Wars doesn't have Tim Tams. Helen has Tim Tams. Join me. And Shuri, she's cute. Mike says, look, J&D can do a good job on the likeness of some characters, but I ain't dropping that kind of money. Plus, I never like their stuck-up attitude. Well, look, they are for the real collectors, the true collectors, and they were super humble in their Bruce Wayne post, which I think I screenshotted. I just find it something to laugh at, because I'm like, I'm probably going to get flamed for this, but I'm going to do it. I feel like I want J&D, like Daniel from J&D and like Yost from Jazz Inc. to have, like, you know how they do celebrity boxing? I want them to do like celebrity boxing, so only one can then be, we're the best, we're the most accurate, we're for collectors, we're the number one, because you can't both be trying to claim that mantle. So I'm like, let's get them in the ring, let's have some fisticuffs, and then whoever reigns supreme, they're the only one that can use these lines of the most accurate, the best, correct, real collectors, for collectors, by collectors. Can we make that happen? And I paid for an extra head sculpt, which I plan on getting custom rooted. Oh, I have the Hathaway. Yes, you do have the Kojun Hathaway on order. Exclusive 3-pack, worth every penny. And I paid for an extra head sculpt that I plan on getting custom rooted. Uncard reviews, don't you have 200 pre-orders? 200 pre-orders, my goodness. Helen, don't do that to me. Don't make me choose between the Star Wars and the Tim Tams. Well, I feel like that should be the choice in life. If you choose the Star Wars, you don't get the Tim Tams. If I was like Protector of the Realm or whatever, that's what I would make people have to pick. For sure, once J&D touches a license that you love, then your better judgment gets aside and your fandom takes over. Yeah. Tijuana Mike is here. Good morning, collectors. Good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. You just missed Star Wars in 60 seconds. What a shame. Peacemaker. I'm just going to put it out there. I have not seen the first episode of season 2. Please do not spoil it for me. I'm pretty sure it came out at like 9 o'clock Thursday night in the US, which is 9 a.m. Friday. Helen's at work. Helen couldn't watch Peacemaker. Helen didn't have time, but Helen has seen season 1. Really enjoyed it. Why am I talking about myself in the third person? That's weird. Have seen season 1. Enjoyed it so much more than I expected. I really didn't think I would like. I thought I would find it cringe, like a whole series based on Peacemaker. And I watched it. I watched it when like Shuri was a little baby. That's how old it was. And I feel like I actually want to rewatch season 1 before I start season 2. So no spoilers, please, because I've not seen it, and I'm assuming other people have not seen it. But Howie Claus, you're dropping a tease, and if you're going to drop teasers, please be like Wednesday, where we get the figure announcement not too far down the line. Don't be like the Thunderbolts and Ballerina, where you leave us hanging, and I'm like, are you even making an Eve Macaro? I've planned this whole John Wick, like World of John Wick display in my head based on getting the ballerina. And the movie's now been released in Asia. Where is she? Where is she? I don't know where she is. Tim Tams are the way. Tim Tams are the way. I feel like I should get that on a t-shirt. Helen, if I had to choose, I'd be ever stuck in purgatory. Fair enough. I mean, what if it was the time when we had the orange chocolate Tim Tams, Mike? Could that sway you? I have all the Ledger Jokers once the Kojun once the Kojun version arrives. If it's not the best ever, I will go full custom commission. There's a guy called John Woo who's doing custom Joker sculpts at the moment. And they are beautiful, but my goodness, they are not cheap. I think it's like $1,000 Australian, which is a lot of money. It's a lot of money. So we got a Peacemaker teaser, which was cool. I appreciated it. I feel like the Peacemaker figure is not one that you really see in the aftermarket anymore. So I think a lot of people who got it have enjoyed it and hung on to it. So it was nice to see Howie Claus leave this little breadcrumb. 2 dimensions, 1 badass figure. Stay tuned for Peacemaker's return. We like that. We like to see DC getting a little bit of love. Costa! Kalimera, Tikanis. So good to see you. Happy Friday to you, Costa. We will be doing the next 2 Greek Geeks Saturday week. Mark your calendars. Come hang out with Costa and me. We'll talk about all kinds of amazing things. But we got this teaser, and what I thought it might be interesting to do is to then look at the previous version of the figure. Because I know some people are like, why are you doing Peacemaker? You made Peacemaker. I can see already that there is a few differences that I think would appeal to collectors. So largely, this costume does look similar from what we're seeing. This jetpack or whatever it is at the back is new. I have no idea if that is something that's going to come out, as in it's detachable, whether that's fixed to the body. I have no idea. But I can see a really appealing thing about this figure being an unmasked John Cena head sculpt. I can see that being a really big thing for collectors. The original version, we only had the helmeted one, magnetic tongue. And of course, it looks like once again they're sticking with the seamless body, which is amazing. You might remember that the original Peacemaker announcement had jointed arms, which people got very upset about. But Hot Toys, Howie Claus, he loves you and he wants you to be happy. He wrote that wrong and made Peacemaker seamless. So I'm keen to know. So we can see there's a John Cena head sculpt. There's this jetpack. What other things are people wanting to see with the Peacemaker too? I feel like the shield is something that people would potentially want. I know So Slow Toys were meant to be doing that accessory set with the shield, and I can't remember what else it came with. It looks like we've got the gun in the holster, so hopefully that'll once again be pretty easy for people to take out because it was fixed in place on the original figure. I mean, I think it's got to come with another eagly, right? Like, I feel like that's got to be a bit of an essential accessory for Peacemaker. But I am keen to know, and I don't know, I feel like it's a bit more tempting with the John Cena head sculpt. Maybe that's just me, but I do think it's super cool to have an unmasked sculpt. But I'm keen to know, are you happy that we're getting another Peacemaker? Are you in the camp of, like, we've got the original one, I don't really feel like I need another one? Like, as I say, I'm keen to know, because overall for me, I'm just kind of happy to see some new DC stuff, because we have not gotten a lot of DC stuff, with the exception of that Flash movie for I still can't work out why. If this comes out, I'll be pissed if I can't get Gambit. Look, I'm still quite surprised that there's been no word on Gambit at a minimum. We did talk about the figure graveyard last week, and I'm a bit worried that Gambit and Elektra are moving in there. Orange Chocolate Tim Tams, what is Star Wars again? See? We got people saying hello to Costa, as you should. So Slow Toys. I think that's the new name. I really do, Valkyrie, because, like, I have 4 So Toys figures on pre-order, and they all should have been released a long time ago. I'm pretty sure some of them were meant to have come out like Q4 last year, and So made the promise, we're not doing more pre-order announcements till we release, I think it was the Blade and the Flash figures. Where are they? This was a comment they made very early on in the year, and just nothing is happening. And then they announced the reissue of the Blind Vigilante. They dropped the Wolverine patch figure. It's just, there's really no rhyme or reason to it. And what gets me is, like, just give people an updated release schedule. Like, you've got a group, takes 2 minutes to go, okay, we know we've missed the ETAs. This is now where we're at. It can actually be so easy to, like, get people off your back by just telling them what is happening. It's an amazing concept. I never got a Peacemaker, so I'm happy. I feel like a lot of people will be, that didn't get it, will be happy. Peacemaker, that geriatric head sculpt makes it look more like Pacemaker. Oh, that's a bit harsh. That's a bit harsh. Geriatric head sculpt. I don't like what of the original one. I think it looks like John Cena to me. I don't know. Is it just me? I thought the likeness was good. It's funny. I feel like it's a figure I kind of forgot about, and then I think it was Iron Logan posted some pictures of Peacemaker recently, and it was a reminder of, oh, this was actually a really good figure. Really well done. He did some cool photos with Eagly as well. It looked awesome. But yeah, I mean, I personally, I'm happy to see, as I said, them doing a DC figure. I know people around season 1 were hoping that they would do a Vigilante figure. I didn't know that we were going to get that for season 1. I don't know season 2. I do feel like Vigilante, the odds are probably stronger with a third-party company doing that over Hot Toys. I obviously haven't seen the series. Will we get anything else? I don't know. I don't know that we would. I feel like maybe Hot Toys is still, like, a little bit reserved with DC, because I thought with Superman, maybe we'd get a battle damaged version. Would we get a Mr. Terrific? I even wondered if they might have done a small run of like Supergirl figures with Crypto as a, like, convention exclusive. They had ACGHK, like the Solo movie will come out. Like, hey, we're just going to do almost like what they did with things like the D23 Endgame Captain America. Like, we're going to do a small batch early for the super keen people, and then we'll get the main figure release later on. I don't know. Maybe they just don't do that stuff anymore. Maybe that's just me living in the past. Anthony says, I refuse to buy any Fantastic Four figures until they release Johnny Storm. Yeah, I can totally understand that. Like, and I really, as much as I like the Fantastic Four, I'm not buying the figures, but I can understand that sentiment in saying, I want the full team. It's the Fantastic Four. I don't want 3 of them and multiple Herbies. So I totally get that. I really hope that announcement is not too far away. There were some people speculating it was something to do with flame effects or something. I can't remember. Something still needed approval. But I would hope it's coming soon, because it's just not. Too many people have been stung by starting down a line of figures and then Hot Toys doesn't complete them. And I think this is where, you think of like the Justice League and why people kicked up such a fuss to get Cyborg. Like, I totally get it. He was a key part of that movie, and to not make that figure, it's a bit like, oh, really? Like, you've done 4, you can't just do the 5th one? So I really hope that we get, I really hope that Hot Toys, if they can't announce it, at least give us some kind of a teaser of he's coming. He's not far away, or we are completing the set. I think collectors would like that. Costa says, I have the original Peacemaker. It looks great. Unless the new one has some amazing extras, I'm good with the original. Yeah, I think I am keen to know, because I'm not sure if for some people is getting the unsculpted, unmasked John Cena head sculpt enough. Because this is what I'm saying. I don't know what else might potentially come with a second iteration of the figure. But I feel like if you missed out, because I said, I don't feel like you see Peacemaker on the secondary market at all. I feel like the people who missed out and regretted it might pick it up. I feel like people who maybe got Artisan Harley and then went, oh, hey, I've got Harley now, maybe I'll collect backwards to finish the Suicide Squad. Like, that might be something that people go, hey, I'll grab this Peacemaker for a Suicide Squad display. You could maybe put him in your Superman display. I don't know. Be interesting. Justice for Johnny Storm. I agree. I did wonder when they showed the Galactus and the Galactus had the 5 minifigures. I was like, oh, will we get Silver Surfer? I think they'd be interested in that too. Because if they did Silver Surfer, that is essentially, I think you're looking at like the 6 main characters of the movie covered, and that's probably been a while since they've done that, since each major character in a property got a figure. Like, it would be nice to go back to those days. Like, this is the thing that I often think about when I look at my Dark Knight trilogy collection, particularly with Dark Knight Rises. Like, they went really deep into that line. We got Alfred, we got Bruce, we got Blake, we got Gordon, Bane, Catwoman, like the DX12. And for a long time, it was like, particularly after Endgame, and I think when so many of those figures sat, it's like, oh, will they not go that deep into lines anymore? So it would be nice if they did that with the Fantastic Four. I think that would give people a glimmer of hope. Yeah, I don't need the Fantastic Four figures, but I do want to watch the movie again. I enjoyed it as well as Thunderbolts. I'm hoping Marvel is heading uphill again. Me too. I have to say, like, Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four, and Superman are all movies I've really enjoyed. I think big steps up for both Marvel and DC. I didn't really like Captain America 4 was like okay. Didn't love it, but I didn't walk away going, it's the worst, or I was like, yeah, I had an okay time. It's not the best movie ever. It's not the worst. But I do feel like Thunderbolts is probably my favorite superhero movie of the year. But that and Fantastic Four, big steps up. So yeah, it's I think the last 3 movies we've had have made me kind of hopeful that we can rebound and go back to a bit more of an upward trajectory where we just really enjoyed a lot of the movies and there weren't disappointments, or as many disappointments. Like, not everything's gonna be loved by everyone, but it did feel like for a while the baseline was not as great as it used to be. So yeah, and this is my thing as well. I feel like I can enjoy a movie but not want the figures, which is probably a good thing, because I feel like some people, they get into the hype and they have to pre-order, and then they end up with a lot of figures and stuff they're trying to sell, which is hard to do. I never liked this Tastemaker character because he killed Rick Flag in the movie Deplorable. Oh, Peacemaker. Is Tastemaker a deliberate phrase? Because I'm not familiar with why you'd use that. Yeah, I mean, as I say, in the movie, I wasn't loving him, and that's why I kind of had a bit of hesitation about watching the TV show. I was like, do I really want to watch a whole show with this guy? But when I started watching it, I ended up enjoying it a lot more than I thought I would. So maybe that's just me. Peacemaker to Wednesday, because of course that's a natural transition. I didn't know she played the cello, a 6-scale cello. That's cool. That's a bit of a unique accessory. But look, a really short turnaround from tease to announcement. And would it be a Hot Toys announcement if everybody didn't hate on the head sculpt? I feel like that was the overarching sentiment that I saw today. People saying it was Tuesday rather than Wednesday, making spins on the name. I've always said I like to see the in-hand footage, and I'm pretty sure this weekend we'll probably start seeing some of the collectors in Hong Kong heading down to Secret Base, taking some pictures of the figure on display. So that's where I'm quite keen to kind of get a closer look and get an opinion. There were some photos where I was like, does it look a bit younger? Because I understand the actress is obviously older than a school-age girl. So I was like, oh, have they taken some liberty to make her look a bit younger? Is that a problem? Are people like okay with that? Because hey, it is meant to be a girl in high school. I don't know. I'm keen to know what you think. But as I said, I was not surprised to see people not liking the head sculpt, because I feel like there's very few announcements that come out where there's a consensus or that people are loving the head sculpt. I do have to say, I was super impressed with sculpted braids. Like, they look good. Like, this sculpted hair, I think, looks fantastic. So, I mean, likeness aside, and Lord knows the likeness is better than what was it, like Darth Maiden, Raven, Wednesday cosplay, or whatever that third party thing was called. I'm super impressed with this sculpted hair and the braids. I do think the level of detail in the sculpted hair is really impressive. I'm really I know Bobby tries to take me over to the dark side of rooted hair, but when I see sculpted hair like this, I'm like, these plaits will always look this good. There will not be a point in time where they frizz or something happens to the hair. This hairstyle will be maintained for as long as you have this figure, and that is probably one of the things that I do really like about sculpted hair, that I don't have to do anything to it, and if it looks good, it's always going to look good. It's not going to look at it one day and go, oh, the hair's frizzed, it's puffed up, it's something's happened to it. So I do like a sculpted head sculpt. I'm sorry, Bob. Toy Collector says, super excited for Wednesday. Seems this is getting released pretty soon based on some Hong Kong sites. Oh, really? That's interesting. That's interesting to know. These are the kind of comments I saw on Reddit. It's not Jenna Ortega, more like Jen Ortega. I think people were calling her like Jennifer or Jenna, like, or Tiz or something as well. Like, people were giving her like same, slightly different names. Looks good to me, but I'm not buying her. Yeah, I'm very much in that camp. Just ordered the John Woo sculpt. Oh, I'm jealous. They posted a couple tonight, and I really like the mob scene sculpt. I really liked it. But at $1,000, there was a part of me that was like, I could get the artisan bank robber Joker and put that sculpt on my purple coat and then have the masked on the figure. So this is where the currency, the exchange rate with the Australian dollar is absolutely killing me, because there's so many things that I think about. I should get that painted. I should get that this. I should get that that. And when I just start doing conversions, the prices is so much. I like that it comes with Thing. Yeah, there's multiple versions of Thing, which I think is super cool. Uncarded Reviews, that hair looks like a helmet. I wish this had an artisan version. Well, I mean, it's an eyebrow fringe. It's kind of the style, isn't it? Broke Collector says, I have no idea why they made that Suicide Squad Harley Quinn an artisan edition. Why couldn't they have just done this? I'm with you, the Broke Collector, because I think I've said a few times, like, that version of Harley Quinn is what I'd wanted for the longest time. I wanted Margot Robbie. I wanted her in a more comic-inspired outfit, the red and black jumpsuit. And I thought they weren't going to make her. And I really thought, like, maybe a third-party company will at least do an outfit set. Didn't really get that either. So I was bummed when Hot Toys did it as just an artisan. And this is where I probably, my frustration with artisan lies in when it's a main character or something that could go in a team. Having it as an artisan without a standard release, it really bugs me. If it's something like Age of the Apocalypse Wolverine, by all means, just do that as an artisan. But I think even with the Winter Soldier, like, I don't love that that's just an artisan, because then we saw with Jack Sparrow, we got artisan and deluxe and standard. So I just wish there was a bit more of a consistent approach of, if it is something that's not a niche thing, to also have a standard release. Even the Iron Man 2 Black Widow, I think there's so many people that would have wanted that. And if they couldn't get the artisan, would have been totally happy with a standard release. So I hear you. I'm with you with that because I wanted that Harley for the longest time, and I will probably never own it because we don't really get access to artisans in Australia. So I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of that when there's not a standard release. Again, due to my screen size, it looks like a dude with a bowl cut. Oh my god, I can't really see the braids. No, she's got 2 very long plaits, which, as I said, I think it looks good. Illusion Entity says likeness is a solid 5 out of 10. Yeah, look, some people are not loving it. As I said, I'm keen to see some in-hand footage of this. Honestly, I'm more of a Friday guy. Oh yeah, lol. Lol, lol, lol. I just cancelled my Artisan Moon Knight today. Oh, okay. Collection going in a different direction, but was hard to do. Yeah, I can imagine because I feel like as well, given the scarcity of Artisan, and I think given what some people go through with the queues with Sideshow, I think it can be hard if you've been through that and you've been successful, and particularly if you've missed out on other stuff, to then get one and then go, actually, I don't want it. But I feel like if you know you don't want it, I think moving it on is the way to go. As I said, I feel lucky that in Australia, pop culture is very good at letting you then move that deposit onto another figure. So this is where sometimes, like, I've changed my mind on things and I've just gone, actually, I'm going to cancel that and move my PO to something else. And I feel like, are there any that I regret doing that with? No, I don't think there is. And I've even said, like, as much as I love Yelena and the Thunderbolts, like, if we don't get a Red Guardian, because I've got 2 Yelenas already. Like, I made my own stealth version of Yelena. If we don't, at a minimum, get Alexi, I may be tempted to go, you know what? I don't want one Thunderbolts figure. I'm going to cancel that and move the deposit to something else. I had pre-order day 1 Artisan Harley Quinn. I love it with the Artisan hair. I just got 1 payment plan left on her. I have passed on the other recent Artisans. My love affair for Artisan is over. Yeah, I know some people are not. There's various degrees of love for Artisan is what I will say. I get that. And this is my thing. Like, I know that rooted hair is not for everyone. As I said, more often than not, I would go for sculpted over rooted. So I can understand that it's not for everyone. Plus, I'm really just waiting on In-Art Catwoman. That is the big posable hair figure I'm waiting. Yeah, and that is probably one of the figures where I do like the rooted hair because you can keep it in place with the goggles, like the eye mask. So, and it's straight. So it's easy to maintain. It's not curled. There's not any intricacy to it that you have to be sitting there with little brushes to try to maintain. Straight hair. And even for me with the Hot Toys figure, like, I've got the 1.0. That's not the best quality hair. But when you've got the goggles, it holds it in place and it looks fine. So I get it. Austin Nicholas, hello. How are you? Happy Friday. Nice to see you in the chat. I hope you're doing well. Austin, I watched Cop or Drop the other week when you guys had Figure Hideout and Zordon. It was lovely to see you guys having a chat, and I thought you had some really awesome questions for Figure Hideout that I know answered a lot of things that I had wondered about him. So lovely to see you, and thank you for asking those questions. Artisan is bad in my opinion. The rooting is pretty bad and inconsistent. Look, it's not been without its problems. I think we can all admit that. The thing I don't know, and I don't know that we're going to get a sense of, is like how widespread are those problems? Is it a few? Is it a higher percentage? That's what we don't know. And it does, like, I've got this Bucky on pre-order, and I'm just hoping mine will be okay. I feel like it's a bit of artisan roulette. Helen, if Helen still goes for sculpted over rooted, that tells me Bobby D has more work to do. Oh yeah, he's persistent, Bob. He's very persistent. He's I know he's mentioned the John Wick toupees to me a few times, and I have considered them. I'm not going to lie. Have I considered them? I have. But I do like sculpted hair because, as I say, it's just done. It's ready. But I'm sure I've mentioned this, I am on this bit of a kick to build my ultimate John Wick 2 figure. And the sculpt is the sticking point for me because I do like the Hot Toy sculpt, but I feel like in that black suit, I want him with a clean face, no bruises, no scarring. So, like, the Hot Toy sculpt has the battle damage on it. I've got the 11 sculpt, which I actually like, but the skin tone is too tan. So, at a minimum, that would need to be repainted. But then I know there's the John Wick 2 style sort of wig toupee thing. But finding the John Wick forehead sculpt loose feels like you just can't do it. Mission impossible. So I'm really not sure. But this is why I'm worried about the J&D John Wick, because I'm worried that's going to be what I want. And I'm going to get stuck. And I'm going to pay a stupid amount of money. Artisan series, I like the Australian version of Hot Toys. Hey! Are you being mean about Australia? Don't make me put you in timeout. Oh, Austin, thank you. You're the best. Pleasure to hear you tuned. I did. Absolutely, I did. It was nice to see everyone. Jaron says, I love my Darth Vader Sith Apprentice figure with the rooted hair, but it's no longer like, oh, Artisan, have to day one pre-order FOMO. Now I'm very much, do I love the character enough for the price? Yeah, that's fair enough. 100% that's fair enough. Blur Dad Life says, I'm very tempted to get this Wednesday. I think my daughter would love to see it in the collection. Oh, that's cool. I remember. I'm sorry. I'm going to forget who said this last week. Apologies. I can't remember if it was Toy Collector or someone else said they were going to get the Wednesday figure for their wife and that the family really enjoyed. I'm so sorry. I'm probably misremembering who said that. But I do remember someone was quite excited and was like, our family loves it. I'm going to get this for my wife. It's going to be really cool. And I was like, oh, that's lovely. You guys can like share this figure. And I imagine like for some collectors that perhaps are parents, like those Harry Potter figures might be a nice thing of if you've got kids of that age and you can kind of share those figures. And, you know, I say share as in like let the kid look at it and not handle it. That's how I would be sharing. The Broke Collector. Sorry, apologies. It's the Broke Collector. I knew someone said they were, and I said, I'm so bad at remembering names. I'm so sorry. But I thought that was cool. I thought that was super cool. SB is here. Hello, all. Hello to you, SB. Happy Friday. Not me. I'm watching the show with my daughter, so it's motivating me to get it. Okay, but you're on the train, so I kind of half remembered. I'm doing my best. But I mean, I think Wednesday, like, it comes with some cool stuff. Like, I really do. Don't let Jazz Inc. make you think they're the only people who can make an umbrella, folks. She's got an umbrella. She's got a chair. She's got a cello. 6-scale cello. Amazing. Amazing. She's got school books. She's got a backpack. She's got Thing. There's a few versions of Thing, actually, which I think is super cool. So let's take a look at everything that Wednesday comes with. And hopefully people watching on their phone can see the plaits a bit better with this picture. Because as I said, I'm super impressed with the sculpting on the plaited hair. I think that's really cool. So, of course, separate rolling eyeballs, because that's how we roll in 2025. She's got a book bag. She's got magnetic attached thing with different gestures. So that is the cool thing. Like when it was posed on the shoulder, it is magnetic. So we like that. We've got a couple of mystical accessories. I'm not going to pretend I know what they are. One looks like a bit of a crystal ball. I don't know what that device is next to the crystal ball. Apologies. She's got a cello. She's got her umbrella. She's got a chair. She's got books. display stand. Like this comes with quite a bit. So I am super keen when Hot Toys does some different kind of IPs. Like, how are they going to go down? Because I remember when they did the Belle from Beauty and the Beast, I kind of was like, oh, is this going to be Hot Toys' big entry into like those kind of Disney figures? But I don't feel like we ever really heard about how well that did. Did it have a lot of pre-orders? Did they make a lot of units? I'm not entirely sure. But I do think it's cool that they're doing some different stuff. So I appreciate that, Howie. If you could also make a Koye, she's a bit different, that would be amazing. Eternal Choice made an awesome umbrella for their not so awesome penguin figure. Oh, I have that. I actually don't mind that penguin figure. I was very lucky. Cousin Anthony gifted that to me. And I have to say, some different poses that I did with it. My favorite one probably was with it holding the umbrella open. I feel like I want to eventually get a different top hat for it because the top hat was not amazing. And the hair, it's third-party hair. So I've kind of hidden it within the coat. And I think within a display, it looks fine. I'm still not non-committal to the Jazz Ink one. I want to see some pictures of the Catwoman, please, before I pre-order anything else. So I didn't mind the Eternal Toys one, but I also got it for free. So I think that's probably swaying my view. But I do think out of the Penguin and the Catwoman they did, I think the Penguin was a bigger success, personally. Jaron says, I just had a $20 coupon go live after some points converted with Sideshow. Hopefully she pops up soon. I wonder if they would do Enid. That's the friend, right? I don't know. And this is what I kind of wondered. I mean, again, I haven't seen the show. I would like to see the show. I had wondered, might they make other members of the family? Is this just going to be a standalone figure? I don't know. It has a Harry Potter figure vibe with what it comes with. Yeah, a little bit. Little bit. No common room, though, because, you know, I guess she'd be in Slytherin, right? Good old Wednesday. Guys and gals, I should say. J&D. By the way, J&D has a new Facebook page. Something happened to their original Facebook page and they legit have like lost access to post in it. So they have a new page that I don't think many people realize. So the original page was like J&D Studios Company Proprietary Limited or something like that. This new page on Facebook is just called J&D Studios. So you will know it because it has the announcement of the John Wick figure and the Bruce Wayne figure. So just thought I'd point that out because I looked at the page I was following, which is the old page they've lost access to. I didn't see anything. And then Renz, bless him, he sent me these posts. And then I was like, oh, it's a Facebook page. And then I realized they have set up a new Facebook page that I wasn't following. And if they announced it on their Instagram, I missed it. So I just thought I'd let people know if you want to keep up with J&D, their statues, Kojun Works, new Facebook page. It's just called J&D Studios. So we got this post earlier this evening. Dear fans of J&D Studios, the pre-order schedule of Kojun Works John Wick 6-scale figure has adjusted from August to September. We will return with a more sophisticated John Wick in September. Sincerely, J&D Studios. And I do love this moody photo. It's very much like the end of the first movie where he's walking away with his new dog. I'm so keen to see this head sculpt. I'm really so keen to see this head sculpt. This is such a tease. So we got 3 photos in total from J&D. So we've got 2 different looks from John Wick, and I consulted with Bob Dylan. So it looks like on the left, the grey suit is from the first movie, and then on the right, that very much looks like the suit from John Wick 4. I have wanted slick back hair John Wick sculpt for the longest time. So I feel like if that's what this has, it's going to be so tempting to me. And I do think like this is where if we've got like seamless wrists for something like John Wick, where you do want to pose him and the sleeves might come up depending on how you're posing his firearms. I do think that's nice. With the John Wicks I have, I'm very much trying to pull it at sleeves to cover wrist pegs. So I do feel like that's a nice touch with this. And I think, like we'll see with the Bruce Wayne figure, like I think that suit is really nicely tailored. So I'm keen to see what we get with this. I'm non-committal at the same time because there's some pretty big markups when other sites are selling the J&D products. Like when Kit had the Harvey Dent, it was a big step up in price compared to buying through J&D Direct, which is they sell out pretty quickly a lot of the times. But this genuinely is probably the first Kojun Works project that I'm genuinely intrigued and excited by and keen to know more. I still think it's kind of crazy that InArt all this time didn't really look at doing a John Wick. I think would have been a clever thing to do. I know it's dude in a suit, but there's so many suit versions you could do, and even going back and revisiting that John Wick 2 look, the three-piece black suit, you could fill in some gaps that Hot Toys didn't do as far as the sculpt, as far as having the sort of, would you call it like a utility belt with the different ammunition. Like I think there's things that could have been improved on or done better because, you know, tailoring in 2025 is much improved to tailoring of even 2020. Like I look at suited figures I have in the past that I was happy with and then compare them to newer things. Like the Hot Toys Two-Face is a good example of that. Like the 1.0 compared to the 2.0, the tailoring, everything looks so much better. So I'm happy to see J&D is doing John Wick. Keen to see how many SKUs we get. I'm keen to see the final product. I'm keen to see the head sculpt. I'm just really eager to see how this comes out, and we will see if they turn me into a true collector by wanting this. And Carter Reviews is applauding J&D. Figure It Out says, I'm committed to the &D Catwoman 2-pack and the Penguin 2-pack. My fandom for 89-92 Batman overrules my common sense sometimes, most of the time. Yeah, I mean, there's still a part of me that just wouldn't be shocked if Hot Toys did make the Catwoman and the Penguin. I just feel like I know there's a lot of people very excited about the Jazz Inc. figure line. Well within your rights to be excited. I'm not telling you not to be excited. I think there's also a section of the community that is also feeling a little bit of trepidation because it's been a long time since we pre-ordered. So the pre-orders, in theory, were meant to close in, I think it was November last year. Pre-orders are still open. So all this pressure of, oh, you've got to pre-order, otherwise they're going to close. But we've seen nothing. Like, I feel like I've seen a couple of pictures of bodies, like just bodies, not even material, sculpt, anything. And I really had thought we would have seen more or been closer to a release before they started then asking for deposits for other figures. So my experience from the Catwoman is like, okay, pre-orders closed in November, but it's August the following year and they're still open. So the pre-orders for the Penguin are not closing anytime soon would be my guess. So if I can be in a position where I've either seen the Catwoman or I have it in my possession to then make a more informed decision of, yeah, this, like they've talked a big game, but they've backed it up, because a lot of their figures are, by their own admission, at artisan price points, which is very different to when they first announced it. Like, do you remember the illegal figures video? I'm pretty sure they were saying $250 to $300. And that's fine because you're given 4 head sculpts and all that. So my takeaway with that is don't be making those statements if you don't know. But I'm like, for the price and how big the NRD is on the Penguin, the Penguin NRD is much bigger than the Catwoman NRD on 1/6 kit. So I just, yeah, I want to know what I'm getting, because, you know, it's all well and good to go custom tailoring by Gee Whiz Customs. They're not making the outfit I'm buying. Someone in a factory is making the outfit I'm buying. I don't know what that's going to look like. I don't know what the drop off of that is, because you haven't produced it yet. Haven't produced any of these figures yet. J&D John's schmick. He is very schmick. I don't think there's a character in existence I'd pay J&D prices for. Yeah, that's fair enough, Illusion Entity. And I think I've said this a lot of times on this stream. I feel like every collector will have their threshold as to how much they're willing to pay for a figure or a vehicle. And I completely respect that. I've said that a number of times with things like my 89 Batmobile. You know, I paid $1,000 Australian for it. I love it. To get a Jazz Inc. one is $3,500. I don't want to spend $3,500 on a collectible. That's not me. I just think it's sad that people interpret that as, oh, well, you can't afford it. It's like, no, I can afford it. That's just not how I choose to spend my money. So I get it, because I know for figures, for vehicles, I definitely have a price point limit that I know I'm not prepared to go over. And I'm fine with that. And even with, you know, you look at some of these figures, as I said, like the Bruce Wayne J&D figure on its own is $1,500. I love the Dark Knight trilogy. And as much as I love it, I can't drop $1,500 on dude in a suit. I don't care that it's silicone and Kojun, and not going to happen. Other people are happy to do that, and that's cool. We should all just collect the things that we want to collect and the things that make us comfortable. Hot take, I think the Jazz Inc. stuff is going to be disappointing. I've not been impressed by what they've shown so far. Well, we've got to be careful making comments like that, Illusion Entity, because the Faith Militant, they don't like it when you're not loving Jazz Inc. It's interesting times, I think, because I certainly know that there's people that have some disappointments with aspects of the animated series line. This animated Batman that has a muscular body, even with the animated Batmobile, like the blue lines. I even thought it was odd, and maybe this is me, and I'm probably going to get called a Denobi again. But even the post in their group the other day asking, like, what yellow the emblem and the belt on the seated Batman should be. And I was like, you're making it. Like, why aren't you picking a yellow? Because then I feel like it becomes, if anybody questions it, oh, well, that's what the community wanted. I'm like, you're making it. You decide. Some of the stuff just really perplexes me. I don't know if it's just me. King Dingling says, if they scale down pricing to something affordable, J&D could do well on the Wick figure. Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're going to do that, because I think in their mind it's, and this is where it was interesting when we used to have Collectors Unite to talk with Christian about collecting in Korea, because he was saying, like, in Korea, Hot Toys is considered like cheap, entry level. They're more wanting custom, exclusive, not something mainstream. So I think when I had heard that from Christian, I kind of understood a bit more about J&D, and like, I think in a Korean culture sense, that is more desirable. So I don't necessarily know that they're wanting to be like Hot Toys with big global distribution and doing big volumes. Like, a lot of these Kojun work figures have been really small runs. So it's I don't think they want to do that. I just don't think that's their model. Because I then think the perception of the brand in Korea would probably drop, because it's not this high-end exclusive hard to get figure. Anthony says, I definitely want to see more pics of Jazz and Catwoman. but I had to order the Penguin as well. 89 Batman is my jam. Pre-orders are still open. Unless someone tells me they're closing off at some point, I really don't feel any inclination to pre-order as yet. Cousin Anthony, TGIF, everyone, hit the like button, hit subscribe, eat pancakes, have a great weekend. Eat pancakes. Yeah, I'll eat pancakes. Pancakes are delicious. Hit the like button. Subscribe, it's free. If you subscribe, you've got a chance to win some Tim Tams. Oh my goodness, you could make pancakes with chocolate syrup and you could crush up a couple of cheeky Tim Tams on the top. Oh, maybe a little scoop of ice cream. Pancakes, ice cream, waffles and ice cream. Chocolate syrup, crush up some Tim Tams. This is now a cooking channel. Welcome. I'd defo pay J&D for a quality McReady figure. McReady? The Thing. I do not know. One thing that irked me with that animated Batman is how they marketed this new and amazing silicone body. It's just a Fison. It's interesting because, like, I was a bit surprised when they showed it with that muscly body because I was like, again, if your thing is accurate, that's not what Batman, the animated series Batman, looks like. And then they came up with this alternate version where they'd use some padding to try to smooth it out. And when people were coming back and going, no, we're still not happy with it. And this is the thing, I'm reading text, so I don't know if I've misinterpreted it. It felt like they got very annoyed that people weren't just eating it up and that people were like, no, this is not what we want. Because I do think it's a particular aesthetic of an animated figure. And I understand and I appreciate that with the Catwoman, they've gone through many iterations of the body. I think the last stream I heard, they said they were in double-digit iterations of the body. So maybe they're trying to avoid custom bodies for everything. But then I don't think you can harp on about accurate and for collectors and what they want if you're then not going to do what they want. Because I don't think anybody wants that from Batman, the animated series. Figure It Out says, the only vehicle I need now is the Ecto 1, but I'm not going to pay $3,000 to $4,000 for it on the aftermarket. I could buy a real car for that money. Blitzway reissue it like they did the Ghostbusters. Well, there was that rumor. There was a rumor about the Ecto 1. So, I mean, I would hope that they do that for people, particularly everyone sort of jumped on these new figures. So I'm hopeful for people. I mean, Blitzway, they're doing the DeLorean as well. So maybe the vehicles are something they're re-looking at. Like, I do, like, there's something about a vehicle, and I have to say, like, I have the 2 tumblers and the 89 Batmobile, so I'm personally maxed out for space for vehicles, but I do love them. And when I show people my display, particularly that 89 Batmobile, people get very impressed and drawn to that. They do, don't they, Shuri? You're going to have some more water? I thought you were going to go find William Wang. Have you packed yet? Do you need a passport? Okay, you hydrate. You hydrate, little one. I haven't been satisfied with any of the current or prior John Wick releases. Yeah, I mean, look, I like the John Wick 4. I know not everyone likes that head sculpt. I like it. I've seen a lot of head sculpts, and I think has anyone 100% nailed it? I don't know. But again, I hear you because I'm on this mission to mishmash my perfect John Wick 2 figure. So I hear you. Oh, thank you for agreeing with me, JB. Jazzink asking what color the Keaton bat logo and belt is farcical. Yeah, I agree. I was like, really? You can't contact someone and like at the studio and be like, hey, can you send us a photo or give us a I was really surprised by that. Helen's still pushing the Tim Tams. I mean, I've got to make my giveaway appealing, Ash. I don't know if you missed this, but I had this one stream where Figure in a Bubble started this thing, and he gave me a super chat, and he said for the Tim Tam Fund, and it just snowballed, and all these people kept giving me super chats for the Tim Tam Fund, and I was like, I'm creeping towards 4,000 subscribers, and I was like, oh my god, that would be a really cool channel giveaway. So I said, when I hit 4,000 subscribers, I'm gonna give away like a box of Tim Tams. So like, there's an Australia Post box. I use it all the time to send Tim Tams to people. I think I can fit like 7 packets of Tim Tams in it. So when I'm getting towards 4,000 subs, that's going to be my next channel giveaway. So I'm going to go to like the shops. I'm going to take a little video to show the person who wins all the flavors, and then they can pick what Tim Tams they want, and I will buy them the Tim Tams they want, and I will ship them to them anywhere in the world. So I've got to market them now, because this is my hook to try to get more subscribers. Honestly, I just don't buy Yost's friend with the community, sickly sweet, nice guy act. Whole thing stinks. Oh, I feel like I need to be careful about what I say here. As a Brit, I had no idea what a Tim Tam was. After a quick Google, I now need someone to send me some, please. I can't remember which stream I did it on, but if you see the Two Greek Geeks stream on Costa's channel, our tradition is to start streams with a Tim Tam slam. I have done a Tim Tam slam on this stream. I cannot remember when. I have no Tim Tams to do it with right now. But if you go on YouTube, I'm pretty sure there's even instructional videos on how to do a Tim Tam slam. If you're in the UK, they're kind of like, I don't know why I think you're in the UK. Maybe you're not. They're like a penguin, is what I've been told. But Tim Tams have many flavors and varieties. But yeah, I probably should, for people who don't know, maybe we do. Maybe, oh my goodness, maybe I should do, because my birthday's coming up. Maybe the stream closest to my birthday, I should do a Tim Tam slam. That's awesome. You know, they will melt. It depends when I send them. Like, I've sent Tim Tams to the desert in Arizona. You just got to time it right. It's fine. And you got to hope Australia Post doesn't lose your parcel for 3 months like they did when I tried to send something to cousin Anthony. JB says Tesco's is your friend. Oh, do you have Tim Tams at Tesco's? Helen, you said in Australia there's an orange chocolate flavored Tim Tam, right? No, that was a special edition flavor. It doesn't exist anymore. Because orange chocolate's really crappy. No. So with Tim Tams, you have, before there just used to be one. We're so gone off topic. This is going to be a long stream. There used to just be the original, which was like a choc hazelnut. But over time, we've got the line extension. So there's like dark chocolate. There's white chocolate. Why would you want white chocolate? It's disgusting. There's double coated, and there's chewy caramel. So that's like your 5 standard flavors that you can always find at the shops. But then they do like special edition flavors. So that's where we got the best special edition flavor ever, which was the chocolate chili Tim Tams, which I wish they would bring back because they were so good. This year it's strawberries and cream. One year there was orange chocolate. So they have different limited edition flavors that they'll bring out for a bit, but then they disappear. So orange chocolate was one of those. So at the moment we have like the dark chocolate peppermint. I think we've got a salted caramel. There's the strawberries and cream. So you've probably got about 8 or 9 flavors all up. That's my Tim Tam lesson. I have the mint flavor in my pantry right now. That's a good flavor. Helen, you didn't address my Yoast comment. Blink twice if something smells iffy. Should I go there? I'm going to go there. Okay, this is probably going to get me cancelled or a bunch of Jazz Inc. hate, but that's fine. If you are familiar of the story of the Emperor's New Clothes, I think that's the situation with Jazz Inc. and their faith militant brand loyalist people. I'm not going to disagree with what you've said because it's been quite interesting because, again, I feel like I've said this before that I think because people have a direct line of contact, whether that's collectors, whether that's other YouTubers, I think objectivity has maybe diminished a bit because there's a perception of this is my friend. Oh my God, they've answered my PM. They took on board my feedback, which is fine. But then I feel like some objectivity has gone. But I know I've had people message me to share their interactions, and it has shown another side. And I know for me, my view really changed with that illegal figures video. That felt a little bit hypocritical to me. Like you've produced stuff that's unlicensed, and because you're licensed now, you're wagging your finger at other people. Like that's how most companies start. Most companies start as unlicensed. So I don't know. Like, and as I say, like big achievement to become licensed. I'm not diminishing that, but I didn't understand the need to make some of those comments. Like it could have been easy to go, hey guys, we want to give you an update. We're doing a licensed Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman. Stay tuned for more details. You're not going to want to miss this. I think you could have spun it in that way, and that would have gotten enough of a frenzy without, oh, I've been forced to make this announcement because these are legal figures. You don't have a Star Wars license. You didn't have a license for the Michael Keaton Vulture either. And as I'm saying, like a lot of companies start out like that, but I just found it really odd that in what felt like not a big amount of time, there was a lot of, I don't know, is pious the word I want? I don't know. Chopped hazelnut. I didn't know this. No, it's not chopped hazelnut. It's like the original one is like the cream in the middle is like hazelnut. So think of like Nutella, but not Nutella, like a hazelnut cream. Hot takes by Helen. Let's go. Yeah, I feel like I should be calling this stream the hot take. I know some people want, I think Anthony wanted me to call it Shiro Slam, but I feel like hot takes is there. Hot takes, yes. There's no nice guy act, believe me. Ask everyone who pre-ordered with William Wang. No, and I, Anthony, credit where it's due. I 100% think what Yoast has done for people who have pre-ordered the Catwoman is amazing. And I have said that many times on the stream. I don't know that there's any other figure companies that would do that. So I absolutely take my hat off to Yoast. He could have gone, you bought through William, he's defaulted, I'm not getting my money, you take that up with him. But the fact that he has taken on those pre-orders, he's honored those deposits, 100%. Like, that is an amazing thing that he's done. And I don't know that any other figure company is going to do that. I mean, I'm pretty sure InArt was made aware of issues with Toys Wonderland, and I don't think they did anything there. So I'm not saying, oh, it's all bad. Like, I think there's some good, there's some bad, but I do think there's a little bit of rose-colored glasses from some people, and I think wanting to see stuff before we spend more money, that's my view. Because again, I'm coming from that perspective of Aussie dollar sucks, and those figures cost a lot. So I've always said I hope Catwoman is amazing. I hope I get that and I'm blown away, and then it becomes a no-brainer to get more of their figures because they're doing the Poison Ivy. I want a Poison Ivy because I'm getting George Clooney Batman, I'm getting Chris O'Donnell Robin, I've got the Bane on pre-order, I've got Mr. Freeze on pre-order. I need a Poison Ivy. So I'm hoping they're amazing. I just do think there's a little bit of liberty that is given. Whereas I feel like with Hot Toys, because no one has that direct line with Howard and no one's talking to anyone there. I feel like people, because it's a bit faceless, can be like hating every head sculpt. But I don't think that happens with Jazz Inc. And even in art. I think some of the stuff I've said about Jazz Inc. I would totally equate to in art as well. Illusion Entity says, I completely agree with what you're saying. That's how they're playing the game. Everyone's mate and creating a cult of blind loyal followers. I think in art's the same. I really am quite taken aback. And I get being enthusiastic for companies that are young and doing some new stuff and they're listening. But some people acting like they're better than Hot Toys. I'm like, Hot Toys has produced what, like 1,000 figures? Something close to that. I don't think Jazz Inc. and InArt will ever match the production volume. And I think when you consider the production volume of Hot Toys, I think their general baseline of quality is pretty high for a company that's bringing out, 80 to 100 figures a year? That's my opinion. People can have their own opinions. I'm not telling you how to think. 100% not what I'm here to do. Yoast has an arrangement with some YouTube shills. I stopped watching those channels now because they can't be trusted. Look. Yeah, I think some people edge on being promoters more than reviewers. I've said that before. That's why I'm kind of happy sitting on my own little bubble of YouTube and I call it how I see it. People have different views. That's fine. Shuri, what's happening? You ready to go? When am I driving you to the airport, my love? Appreciate the honest opinion. It's the only way I know how to be, if I'm completely honest. I will 100% say, do I know what I'm doing with half this YouTube stuff? No. I hang my hat on calling it how I see it and just being myself. I'm not sitting here trying to ingratiate myself, get deals, whatever. I don't think anybody's giving me a deal, given I'm probably unpredictable in what I say. There goes Helen's special guest interview out the window. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's never happening, and I think that probably dates back to Collectors Unite days, which is fine. The 89 Batmobile fiasco was embarrassing. The simple fact the mold marks were not highlighted until collectors got the vehicles in hand lost me as a customer. The 89 Batmobile, I really hope there was a lot of lessons learned on a lot of levels with that. The reason Yoast has taken on those deposits is a business move. He still needs to sell those figures that were ordered from Wang. So from a business point of view, he's doing himself a favor. Yeah, I mean, of course. And this is the thing. He has got some money from William. Obviously, there must be progress payments along the way that have not been fulfilled. But I think it's smart on a lot of levels. Like, he's still moving the product. But as I said, I think from a customer loyalty perspective, those people that were really worried about, I've put a PO, I really want this figure, what's happening? Have I lost a lot of money? And as I say, in Australia, the exchange rate to the US dollar is horrendous at the moment. So for this guy to actually go, hey, I've got your back, I'm going to honor that, I'm going to move your order directly to me, don't even worry about what's happening with that guy. Like, I do think that is something that those people will 100% be advocates for him and his brand. Like, I think it's clever, but also it's a decision that I think also has a bit of conscience to it, which I do have to respect, because Lord knows with Toys Wonderland and things that were happening for there, no other brand was going to go, oh, no, don't worry, like, Philip's run off with your money, but we've got your back. We'll still get you that exclusive figure. So Natalie G's here. Hello. New hot take segment, she heroic or she roasted. Oh, I like that. It's funny because, yeah, people, I've debated, does this stream need a name? and I feel like hot take, but then Shiro Slam that Anthony Stanfield has suggested, I do feel like slam could mean many things. But yeah, look, I'm only going to share my honest view whether people love it or not. But so cool to see you in the chat, Natalie. I hope you're doing well. Helen, finally someone with sense. Ash, I do not know what that means. I'm sorry. It is midnight. Happy Saturday from Australia, everyone, or from Western Australia. Ash has been in Saturday for a few hours now. Deadpool Red Suit's here. Hi, late to the stream. We'll watch from the beginning once the stream ends. Thank you. Appreciate you, Deadpool Red Suit. Yes, welcome to the Shiro Slam. I'm like, do I need to get a version of my logo like dunking a basketball? Dunking a Tim Tam? So many questions. Natalie G and 6-Scale Shiro, what a treat. Hoping Natalie G will grace our screens tonight. I mean, Natalie, if you ever want to come on this stream, there is an invitation, 100%. I would love to stream with you one day. I think we have like a 12-hour time difference, but if you're available one Friday morning in Florida, like totally, I would love to have you on the stream. Shiro Slam is epic. Well, I feel like I've got the Natalie G tick of approval, so maybe that's what we need to call this stream. Or what I was saying about in-art. God, I say so many things about so many things. So, figure it out. You just had to wreck it, didn't you? Shuri just let out a very big dramatic moan, which was very in line with me being, oh, can I not use that name now? My goodness, my goodness. Hi, Jazz will probably make a 92 Batmobile with switch out wheels, etc. to have the 89 option. Maybe they will. It will probably also cost 5,000 Australian dollars. Natitude is awesome. That is awesome. All right, John Wick. As I said, I'm worried I'm going to want it and that we might have to start selling photos of Shuri's paw to pay for it. We don't want to get to that. We don't want to get to that. We don't want to wreck Shuri's integrity. We don't, Shuri. I don't want to do that to you, Sweet Pea. You're gonna say hello? What are you doing? I thought she was going to jump up and grace you all with her magnificent tail, but she did not. Oh, I didn't know Natalie was on Collecting Weekly. She's a celebrity now. I'm sure a lot of people want her on their stream. I would love to have Natalie on my stream. So J&D, second announcement of the night, because J&D loves you and wants you to be happy. I love how every post is, dear fans of J&D Studios, 6-Scale Kojun Works Bruce Wayne of the Dark Knight trilogy mass production sample pics unveiled now. That's a mouthful. Please check the second Kojun Works Dark Knight trilogy collectible detail. It will be a new masterpiece for 6-Scale collectors in the world. That's a bit of a humble brag, but I would expect nothing else from J&D Studios. So we did get quite a few photos of the Bruce Wayne and the Armory and the suit. We do have to remember the suit is not posable. It's power pose. It has some like swap out arms that you can use to like hold the cowl. But this is not a suit that articulates the way Batman's suit from Hot Toys with one of the Dark Knight Armories works also as a figure. It's expensive dude in a suit, Bruce Wayne, with a whole bunch of silicone, if that floats your boat. So a lot of pictures were shared. And look, this is where I wish there was some video. I do love with the Hot Toys releases now that we get those videos from Figure Hideout, because I just think you get that bit of extra detail. So what is this Armory going to be like? I don't really know. Is it going to be a huge step up from what we've gotten from Hot Toys? Again, not really sure. For me, I have two Armories. I'm done with Armories. I don't particularly know how much better or different a J&D Armory is going to be to a Hot Toys one. But with this Bruce Wayne figure, I have to say, like, the suit, it looks nicely tailored. I'm not going to say it doesn't look nice. The thing that I found hard to ascertain from these photos is how I feel about the head sculpt, because there were some pictures where I felt like I didn't know, and these are the photos, like, was the lighting letting it down and making it feel a little bit like the details are a bit soft? Is it just the texture of the silicone? I don't know, because when I looked at the close-up photos of the sculpt on the suit, I was a bit like, oh, I'm not quite sure about this. But then when I started to see some of the photos on the actual Batman suited body, I was like, oh, these look a little bit better. So I'm not sure. And I think, is there some kind of Photoshop going on with this like bunker background? Because some of these photos just blogger photos. So I'm really not sure what to make of this sculpt. And is it good? Is it not? I feel like I want to see some video. I feel like I maybe want to see some in-hand footage from some collectors. Because for me, it still feels like the jury's out. I don't know if this is a case of the photos not giving it justice, or is it a little bit soft in the details? So I'm keen to know if you've had a look at the photos. As I say, J&D, new Facebook page. They're also on Instagram. I'm keen to know what you think of this head sculpt. Because as I said, like, dude in the suit Bruce Wayne on his own with a Batman bust is something like $900 US. Like, this is not a cheap figure set. So I am keen to get other people's views on this, because I really felt like my verdict was inconclusive, because it just felt like the sculpt looked okay in some pictures, not great in others, and I really didn't know what to make of it. So, oh, good. JB says Bruce Wayne's ears look like they're melting. Some of the pictures, the silicone looked a bit, I don't know, it looked a bit funny to me. I'm still not sold on this whole silicone thing, I have to be honest. Natalie G says, you guys are awesome. Gotta go, lunch is over, but Shiro Slam with Natitude sounds like a fun stream. Collectors Unite. I mean, let me know, Natalie, if you ever want to come on the stream. I would love to have you on. Mike says, to me, this Armory looks like Bruce had the billionaire version of the Detolf for his accessories. Oh, that's funny. Sculpt looks a little soft. Hair looks great. Yeah. And I think that's a very good observation, because as I said, in some of these photos it looks super soft. In other ones I'm like, oh, maybe it's just the way it's lit. Maybe it's just, I don't know. Deadpool red suit, the left image looks better than the right. So what I'm saying, in some photos, like the degree of how it looks so wildly different. There's some where it looks really bad. There's some where you go, oh, okay, that's all right. And I'm really finding it hard to even think of what I think of this. How do I feel about this? I really don't know. Two different mouth expressions there. Is it? I thought there was only one sculpt. Maybe I'm wrong. I think this is A, B, and C scenario. But as you can see, the photo on the right where he's holding the cowl, that's the one pose you can do aside from museum, him standing with his hands out to the side. And I have to say, like, for the price point, I do feel like having a Batman suit that doesn't articulate, I'm not a fan of. I'm just going to come out and say that. Like, they're asking big bucks for these sets, and I get it, some of the materials that they're using, but I think a Dark Knight suit, I think most people want to be able to pose that. That would be my expectation. But I do think the suit itself does look really nice. And I think that adds to my frustration that it's not posable. Suit looks really cool. Figure It Out agrees. Head sculpt aside, the bat suit looks very well detailed. I 100% agree. I think it looks really nice. Nice amount of details. It's a shame that you can't pose the guy. And here's a sort of more zoomed out look of the suit as well. I think it looks really cool. Like, you can see, like, there's a lot of like different shading in the suit. I think that sort of, would you call it bronze? It's quite pronounced. Probably, I would say more than what I saw in the MMS 702. Like, the cape is draping really nicely. I'm also not the person who studies every minute detail, but I look at this and I feel like the proportions seem nice. It looks like a person. Like, sometimes with figures, they have the flat shoulders, like the T1000. There's certain elements of that don't particularly look natural. Like, I do feel like this body, it looks nice. It looks really cool. I like the cowl. As I said, I just think it's such a shame that all you can do is have it standing like this or have it holding the cowl. Like, it's essentially a statue, which I think is a pity, because I can understand for figures like the power pose Bruce Wayne, where you're wanting to have that greater degree of realism and he's wearing a short and t-shirt. You want to not have the seams, the joints. Totally get it. But for like a superhero in a suit, yeah, I think that's just the one thing that's a little bit of a shame with this one. The Kevlar in the suit looks great. Yeah. As I say, I really like the look of this suit. I really do. We've got Terminator T800. Good afternoon, fellow collectors. How goes it? Well, hello to you. I think you might be a new name, so welcome. Thank you for joining. I'm well. I hope you are too. It is the morning for me, Saturday morning. So goodness. So much for quiet news weeks. This stream still manages to go for a couple of hours. But look, I am interested to see what else we might get from this Kojun Works line. You know, the Hot Toys Bane was really good. Would they think to tackle that? Not quite sure. I do think there's probably some figures from the trilogy that would have appeal, but I think probably people would want more of a broader release. Of course, I'm talking about the Batman Begins suit, Ra's al Ghul, a ninja version of Ra's and Bruce. I think they're the kinds of things that people would be interested in. You know me, Nurse Joker. I'll never not want that. But yeah, it's definitely, I think, as I said, the head sculpt, I'm not sure what I think about that, but I definitely don't think it's going to be received the way the Joker was at first, because there was not the greatest reception to that when it originally released, and I was definitely one of those people, and I still think that smiling head sculpt is really creepy, and I would not want that in my house. Power pose defeats the purpose of a 6-scale figure. Look, as I said, I think for something like the Bruce Wayne, I can live with that. I think even with something like a Nurse Joker, I could live with that for the realism it would get. But that's where I would like to swap out arms and legs. So I think we see that with the Artisan Bucky, like his chrome arm. There are swap out versions, so you can have one just flat, you can have one holding a firearm. So I think if you can't offer the articulation for something like this, I think more swap out parts would have been good. I mean, probably going to jack up the price as well, but I just feel like a superhero in a suit is something that you want to pose. So apologies, good morning from your friends across the pond. No need to apologize. I literally opened this stream by saying good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to cover everyone. Because there's people from all around the world who watch, which again, I'm very humbled by, and still kind of, I find crazy that people watch me in one of the most isolated capital cities in the world talk about a very niche hobby that I have. But welcome. Mike says, I'm keeping up my streak of not owning a 6-scale Batman. Oh, but I have to say, having the Power Post figure is appealing to set up an unused helmet or head sculpt on rather than having it in the box. It's funny. When I got the Armory, I did not think I would like the Power Pose Bruce Wayne. I thought I would leave that in the box. I'd potentially look to sell it off. And then when I got it, I was really impressed with it. Like, it really looks cool. Like, I still don't love the head sculpt. I have a different head sculpt on order that I'm hoping will be an improvement. I wish they had kind of stuck to the original sort of hair and look that they had for it. They didn't. Can't change that. But I'm hoping that this Image Studios head sculpt that I've got on pre-order will be a very quick and easy way to upgrade that. Otherwise, I will pop the DX19 head sculpt on it. I have many DX19 head sculpts because I really like that sculpt. Or also, I'm keen to see what the new Hot Toys Armory sculpt looks like. And if that is an upgrade, I'll do that. Yeah. But no, I think Bob has gotten multiple of those bodies, and he's done like a Keaton version, a Batfleck version, a Bale version, which actually looks pretty cool. Excuse me, I've been talking for a long time. Shiro Slam with Natitude sounds like a good time. Like, I agree. So I don't think Natalie's still with us, but if you're watching, we'd absolutely love to have you on the stream. So we then had some photos of the Armory. It's hard to tell, like, is it hugely different from the Hot Toys one? Is it not? I don't particularly know. I will be interested if we get some reviews to hear a little bit more about it. This Armory is really cool. Like, I've had the original Hot Toys one for quite a few years now. I've always enjoyed it. Like, the aesthetic of it is really cool. Having the suit in there, absolutely love it. I've got that Armory next to the black tumbler with the suited Bruce Wayne figure, which is not the Armory one. It's the Topo one I upgraded. And it's a cool display. It is a really cool display. But as I said, I do feel a bit of a bummer that the Batman suit is essentially a statue. There's nothing we can change. And this is another display option that you get. You can just have the two figures. And this reminds me, I feel like J&D did a statue like this where it was the Bruce Wayne and the suit and they were kind of standing back to back or side on from each other. So you can kind of replicate that look in 6 scale. So I guess if you're wanting a little bit more of a, I guess you'd maybe call it a bit more of a museum display. And maybe this might be, I'm now planning out displays of figures I'm never going to buy. Like, maybe if you have like a Dark Knight collection, you could sort of have the Bruce and the Batman a bit front and center like this, and then build the other characters in the trilogy around it. Like, that might be an interesting way to display them. Because that's what I've done with my Dark Knight shelf. I've tried to have the Batman and Bruce Wayne figures sort of front and center, and then build around them in sort of chronological order of the movies. Or don't do that. It's your collection if you're buying these. You don't have to listen to me. Oh my god, you have all the Armory goodies. I don't know if I can move out of the way and show you. You're probably not going to get the best look at this, but I have the original Armory, and I think I posted pictures of this on Instagram, maybe, or maybe not. So I've got the original tumbler. That's like a Topo Bruce Wayne with the DX19 head sculpt. I really like the suit that Topo did for the Armory look. It was really nice. The Armory is there with the bat suit in it, all the accessories. It's really cool. And then down below, I've got the camo tumbler. I've got Bane sort of climbing out of it. And then next to it, I've got the MMS 702. So I've got the clear Armory with the bat suit in it. And I have to be honest, I really want to either pick up a cheap DX19 or get a second body, because I want to update the Dark Knight in my main display, which is the DX12. Because this one is such a big step up, and I was really taken aback by how big a step up it was. So I've got the clear Armory with the bat suit in there, and then I've got the Power Pose Bruce Wayne, which again, was not expecting to like, did not think I would put that on display, but I really like having that next to Bane as well, and it just kind of ties things in nicely. Like, I've got each vehicle with a version of Batman or a Bruce Wayne. But I think with the camo tumbler, like, having Bane in there, I really like. Like, I know the first time we see the camo tumbler, it is with Bruce and Lucius, and I'd ummed and ahed about having that as the display, but I kind of like where I landed in having both Bruce and Bane on that shelf. So yeah, I don't know if you can really see that or if that was even helpful. Am I talking too loud into the microphone? Maybe. I'm just going to wheel myself back to my desk. I will one day do a collection tour. That is on my list of things to do, particularly because I think I'm going to incorporate another cabinet into this display. So I feel like I want to document how I have things now before I change things up. That's just me. Goodness. So that is J&D, Bruce Wayne, on his own or with Armory from J&D. The cost of an organ. It's fine. Your precious Armory, gratefully accepted. I mean, I think Shuri would graciously accept it before she goes on her little expedition. But guys, I can't believe we've gone for 2 hours and 20 minutes. Actually, I should believe that because, you know, you girl can talk. But I think I'm going to wrap it up there. It is Saturday morning here for me. I got to drive Shuri to the airport. She's got a villain to catch somewhere in China. We will report back next week on how she goes. Let me remove this from the stage as I cough. But thank you for coming, joining me again. I've really enjoyed hanging out with you all. On the way out, if you'd like to hit the like button, subscribe, I would appreciate it. As I said, we're marching towards 4,000 subscribers. Someone is going to get delicious Tim Tams. So why wouldn't you want to subscribe to this channel for a whole bunch of randomness and hot takes? Because that's what I offer. Uncarded Review says, I just had some of the new Brota display cases delivered. 41 kilos a piece. Oh, wow, that's quite a bit. I keep debating about whether I'm going to build another garage display case or whether I'm going to move this there where you can't see and get another cabinet like this. I'm mucking around with display ideas because these not being even is a little bit annoying. So I'm even mucking around with, do I just put up some of the signed photos I have to trick the eye into not seeing that height discrepancy, which doesn't bother me, but then I'm like, should it bother me? I don't know. But I can fit in a bigger case there. So I'm not sure. As I said, am I going to do another garage display case? Am I going to get a glass cabinet? I keep looking on Marketplace in case I get lucky and find another cabinet like this, because that would be kind of cool. But otherwise, I need to think through all the scenarios in my head. It's like this. I bought this garage rack and it took me like 9 months to build it because I was going through all these scenarios in my head. But then once I built it, like I had thought through everything and it was perfect and it ticked all the boxes. So I know I will get there eventually. It will just take me probably a ridiculous amount of time, and that's fine. Anthony says, thanks, Helen. Hit the like button. Absolutely, people. If you can, on the way out, I would appreciate it. Good evening, Helen. Have a great weekend. You too, Valkyrie. Thank you for coming to hang out. Thanks for the stream, Helen. Always great to see you. See you next week. I'm sorry if I broke your heart about the orange Tim Tams mic. They were a few years ago. I was just trying to make you not like Star Wars, so lol. Oh, Helen, you are a delight. Thanks all. Thank you, JB. That's very kind. Shuri is the kiddie version of Carmen Sandiego. Maybe she's like Ahsoka. She's like a Jedi Ninja Warrior. That's how someone tried to pitch Ahsoka to me to get me to watch the show. And I was like, no, I'm not watching Ahsoka. Keith says, sorry for not participating in the chat. I've been on calls all morning, but I've had the stream in the background. Have a great weekend. Thank you, Keith. I appreciate that. I hope you have a good weekend. Figure it out, says Helen. Oh, yet again, Helen, all my plans for Friday afternoon are out the window due to be sitting on my ass watching the stream. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, you're in Ireland. That's so cool. Thank you for coming to hang out. Get 2 more glass cases and put the bat tumblers across the top. I used to have the tumblers at the top of these cases. And I felt like they just got dusty and forgotten and they didn't feel like part of the display. So I feel like I definitely get more appreciation of them having them in the display cabinets now. But there was even a part of me going, do I do a 1.5 meter cabinet, which would totally fit? And then I could have both tumblers on the same shelves, but then it would throw things out with the Armory. And I do kind of like the way I've got the 2 tumblers with the different Armory. So I don't know, like these 3 rows, I don't know that I want to adjust. But I do know I want the Avengers to move out and I want the Batman 89 to 97 display to go in there. So I've got a few views in my mind as to how I want to do things. I just don't know the best vehicle as yet. And then there's a part of me who's like, so I've also got 2 detofs that you can't see. Get rid of all of them and get entirely new cabinets. Like I run through so many scenarios in my head. It's a bit ridiculous. Thanks for the chat. Always enjoy your streams. Liked. Thank you. It's very kind. Appreciate you. Whoa, an Ahsoka reference for Shuri. I know some stuff, guys. I know some stuff. Wolverine, are we right? I really hope you're getting it soon. I really do. See, chat, we're getting to come over little by little. Absolutely not. It is never going to happen. We're going to get Helen to come to Star Wars little by little is what I meant to say. No, I knew what you meant. It's just never going to happen. Because I don't want to give up Tim Tams. Come over to the dark side. We have Tim Tams. You actually don't. That's the funny thing. Like my side has the Tim Tams and my side does not want the Star Wars. But on that note, guys, again, thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. Hope you have a lovely weekend. And I will see you same time, same place next Friday. But don't forget, next weekend, you're going to get me on Friday. And then you're going to get 2 Greek Geeks with Costa and me on Saturday. So if you can access some Tim Tams, I'd be acquiring them to enjoy. And maybe you can Tim Tam slam along with me and Costa at 2 Greek Geeks. That would be fun. But have a great weekend, guys. I will see you next time.